Welcome to the Title IX podcast on the Cyclone Fanatic Podcast Network. The entire podcast network is fueled by Cody Road, and Alisa Woods and I are here at the Wild Rose Casino and Resort Studios. Hey, Alisa.
Hey, Steph.
Okay, breaking news, everyone. Alisa has bangs.
I do. The bangs are banging.
Tell me about this.
So in like college and after college, I always had bangs. And so I was like, my stylist had cut like curtain bangs. And I came back to her after like 6 weeks and I was like, let's just cut them all.
How do you feel?
Great.
They look great.
I
feel like it's you.
It's like a hairstyle without having to actually have a hairstyle.
You walked in and I was like,
yeah,
that's her.
I'm put together. Yeah.
It just looks like you're supposed to look like.
For many of my formative years, I've had bangs. And I went away from it for a while. And I was like, let's just go back to it.
Do they drive you crazy ever?
They drove me crazy for the first like 2 weeks because it felt like my forehead was very hot.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But other than that, now they don't anymore.
Well, they look great.
Thanks.
You look great.
Thanks.
Your lipstick matches your shirt. I just can't stop looking at you.
So the lipstick is
excuse me, while I stare.
Little unfortunate because it's a lip stain.
Oh yeah.
So on day 2, I look like Courtney Love. So if I'm gonna do anything, and so this is like day 3 because day 2 I did something, so I had to reapply. So now this is day 3, and there's absolutely no reason for me to have this lipstick on except for I would have looked like Courtney Love.
What kind of a lip stain is it?
It's a pretty intense
apparently.
lip stain. So tomorrow I have to teach a class, so we will wear it tomorrow. I think Wednesday I can ease off of it and just be my grunge self.
Okay, well, you look great.
Thank
so
you.
even if it was unfortunate for the regular part of the day, it's very fortunate for me right now. You look great.
Thank you. Yeah. I just have so much to say. My husband also replaced all of the lights in my bathroom, and I was down to just one. I have the like big bulbs, and now I'm like, good God.
You can see yourself. You can see clearly now.
I was like, is this what I look like? And he's like, yeah, you're beautiful. And I was like, now I don't trust anything you say because what?
It's you.
I can see everything. Whoa.
Well, I'm happy about it. You look great.
Thanks. Yeah. Things are rough over here.
No, they're not. You look great. We are, of course, brought to you by the Ivy College of Business at Iowa State. Aiden, are you getting ramped up for finals?
I just have one final. So
wow.
Is this dead week?
It is dead week, yes. Yep.
Dead week. Dead week was never actually.
I know.
It's prep week now.
Oh, they call it prep week.
Prep can't call it dead week?
Because of the dead people.
Yes, would not want to
offend
them.
I don't know.
All right,
well, I believe it.
Good luck to all of our Ivy listeners who are prepping during prep week. We wish you well.
Yes.
Lots to talk about, like Alisa said. It's Cy-Hawk week. We have our bowl game. There's a lot of happenings in women's sports. We have volleyball. Alisa has paragraphs upon paragraphs to talk about.
So many paragraphs.
Like she can hardly hold still right now.
So many. And now that Steph asked if my bangs bother me, now they bother me.
It never fails. What are they called curtain bangs where you just have them like?
Yeah.
My stylist cut those for me and I was like, I can't do this.
Oh, I loved them. On me.
Oh, okay. But
I don't think I've seen them on you.
That's because I was immediately like, oh.
Do you do a middle part often?
No.
Okay. I feel like curtain bangs have to be a middle part.
Maybe that wasn't the right word.
And it's like bombshell look. Wavy curtain bangs. Very cute. I loved it.
Well, these look great too. Thanks. Okay, should we talk about our bowl game first?
This is the bang episode.
The bang. Should we start with our bowl game?
Let's talk about our bowl game.
We're going to Memphis. Yay!
Yay!
Again. Yay! Okay, I am actually very thankful we're going to a bowl game. I mean, truly, I mean that sincerely. Yeah. I think with the amount of freshmen we had, with all the adversity with the gambling stuff.
Yep.
A bowl game is a great place to be for this team.
Yes.
The Memphis part is just kind of a bummer because we've done Memphis twice.
Yeah.
We're playing Memphis. And I just kind of think, Bummer from a
Yeah.
fan perspective.
I agree with that.
But, like it's one of those things where when we were in college, I would have kicked myself in the shins for saying that because the grass is not always greener,
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think about it?
I kind of agree that it just kind of feels like, been there, done that. I hate that we're playing the home team.
Again.
Why does that feel like it always happens?
It doesn't feel fair on top of everything.
No.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. How are we going to have a bowl game?
We're not.
What would we call an Iowa?
The corn something.
That's so lame. The Tenderloin, the Tenderloin Bowl, the Made Right Bowl.
The Made Right Bowl.
Better
What else?
question. Who would the sponsor be?
Made Right.
Hy-Vee. Hy-Vee.
Hy-Vee.
I'm surprised they don't have one yet, to be totally honest with you.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. The Scotcheroo Bowl.
The Pickle Rat Bowl.
The Smile in Every Aisle Bowl.
That's pretty good,
Yeah.
actually. What else do we got? What else?
But
is
then if
the Midwestern Goodbye Bowl, the Ope Bowl.
the Ope Bowl. What would we give away for the Ope Bowl?
Just a whole bunch of opes. I don't know. But are we that much?
Werther's Originals?
Are we that much less?
The Werther Original Bowl.
I don't know. I mean, is Des Moines any less cooler than Memphis? I don't think so. Maybe. I don't know. As soon as I said that out
yeah.
loud, I was like, oh. I'm just because we've been there.
Here's the thing. Is Des Moines in January? December, January.
It's horrid. I hate it.
Awful.
It's terrible.
I know.
No one wants to come here, and rightfully so. So
what if
What?
we have a bowl game, but it's like June? Extend the bowl season
for one game.
for our game. Worth it.
You know what?
What?
They should have every state should be allowed and required to have a bowl game.
Yeah. The Iowa State Fair Bowl.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's actually fun. We could have some fun with that. And the Minnesota State Fair Bowl since they take theirs so seriously.
Yeah, they can have one too if they want.
And you can pick whatever time of year you want it in.
Yeah.
This is brilliant. I don't know why it hasn't been
Okay,
thought about so
great.
far.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm glad we solved that problem. You told me you had some math.
I do. I was doing some number crunching. So Missouri beat Memphis 34-27. So Missouri is a touchdown better than Memphis.
Is this the transitive property?
I don't know what that means.
Okay.
Missouri beat K-State
Oh, yeah, it is.
30-27, making Missouri a field goal better than K-State. Ergo, which I don't know if I even
That's
spelled
right.
that right or said it. K-State is 4 points better than Memphis, and we beat K-State by a touchdown.
Ergo.
We should win by 11 points. Bet your house.
Bet your house.
It's math.
It's science. It's foolproof.
It is.
All right. Well, if you haven't laid your bet already, it's time.
It's time.
It's time. That's good math.
11 points.
Do you actually think we will win by 11
Nope.
points? Do you think we'll win by more?
Maybe 2.
Oh, I expected you to say the opposite. I like
That
this
we'll
math.
lose by
No,
11
no.
points?
That we'll win by
Oh,
more than
no.
Okay.
You think that I'm ever going to be
No,
optimistic?
I don't. But you just did the math, and I thought maybe
Steph.
the math swayed you.
No.
Will you be going to Memphis?
I will not.
I will not either. It's tough this time, that Christmas time. Although part of me was like, the girls are off school. Maybe we could swing it. And then I was like, Memphis just doesn't, it's not like the tug.
Yeah.
There's no tug for me to go.
This year we replaced our heater, our air conditioner. We had a tree cut down in the backyard, and
Your refrigerator.
the week of Thanksgiving, we had to get a new refrigerator. We are
Bowl
also
game, feeding my children.
we're also probably going on like 2 fairly large trips next year, and so it's like I don't know. We thought about it a couple years ago, and then it was somewhere we didn't want to go.
Orlando, probably.
Orlando.
And then there's just something to be said about sitting at home and making snacks and just enjoying it.
Snacks!
I know. Bowl game
Chef's
snacks.
Kiss.
Can't be beat.
Oh, you know what is your go-to
For
like right now? If somebody was like, come to my
boy.
house for a bowl game,
Like
party.
this time of year,
Yes.
it's going to be Chex Mix.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
any variation. Everybody has their own take on it. Just
Yeah.
because I can mindlessly munch on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really into jalapeno poppers, bacon wrapped jalapeno poppers. Also, we do big parties, just Arnold and I.
I think technically that's not a
We
big party,
do
but
big parties for like the Oscars and all of those award shows.
Yep.
So we'll do like 3 or 4 different like snacky type things for dinner. And I made this like crostini with horseradish sauce and like a rare roast beef and some caramelized onions. So good. I literally just bought the stuff for that today.
my birthday's in June. Will you make that for me?
Of course.
Okay, thank you. Glad
Do
to
you
hear
also want jalapeno poppers?
that. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm in. We talk about the winners and losers of the college football weekend.
Yeah.
The winners. I'm going to award the winners to Iowa State's coaching staff
Okay.
for very little attrition thus far in the transfer portal.
Okay.
There's been some movement,
There
but that's
has.
to be expected in this day and age.
Yes.
And there's not been one of those, oh my gosh, like stab in the heart that I think a lot of teams are experiencing right now. And
Yes.
that is not an easy task. And that's particularly not an easy task when you have a team of youngins who you've
Yes.
developed that other bigger, more wealthy, richer schools want to come in and poach. So kudos to our coaching staff for developing a culture, which I know is overused, but
Yes.
in this instance, it's absolutely accurate. So they're my winners of this weekend.
I think that my winner actually goes exactly with that, and it was Sama.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And I think that with the 2 running backs who decided to not travel with the team,
Yes.
it was a little bit like, what does that mean?
Mhm.
How will that play out? What kind of mentality does the running back room have?
Mhm.
And then for him to come out and have the game was incredible.
And I don't think he did this because from all I can gather and from what I understand, I mean, there was no hard feelings amongst them.
Right.
But it felt like this double middle finger. Like,
Right.
I'm going to show you, and it could not have played out more beautifully.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. So I would agree. And I think that was, what was that, that was over a week ago.
Mhm.
But I think that carried through to then be like, okay, then the hit of those guys entering the transfer portal doesn't seem like that big of a
and
deal.
Granted, we're recording this on December 4th, and today the portal opened. So
Right.
we could see something, and tomorrow I might wake up and be like, remember what I said
Right.
last night? That sucked. But, I mean, I think we probably would
Aiden,
have...
can you cut this out if we lose someone big?
I think we probably would have heard by now.
Yeah.
So,
And I think, didn't Campbell say that he kind of expected,
Yes.
like, okay,
yeah.
this is it now?
Yeah. So
But
I'm proud of that.
yeah.
Fingers crossed. That was the winners of the college football weekend.
Yes.
Losers. My loser is the College Football Playoff Committee, ESPN, the SEC, you too.
Yes.
Everybody knew what was coming. Everybody.
Yes.
Now, did I still watch and hope that maybe they would surprise me?
Yes.
Yeah, but they didn't. Of
No.
course they didn't.
But I think that people are so disgusted because they think that this is like competition, and it's not a competition. It's entertainment.
Yes, it's a reality show.
It is entertainment, and so they've picked the most entertaining teams.
And
they picked a storyline that we're all talking about. This would not be on our podcast tonight had they
done what we hoped they
Right.
did. Yeah. And it's all about dollars. Again, entertainment.
Yes.
It's just interesting because you're right. You're absolutely right. But then you look at the College Football Playoff Committee and they're all athletic directors. I mean, these are all, not all, but they're all athletic directors, except there's a man who runs a Fortune 500 company. There's a man who runs like a sports complex. And then there's a woman who's a professor who used to be a football writer. Mm-hmm. So you would think with that kind of that mentality in there, but that's not what happens.
No, I think athletics directors absolutely understand that it's entertainment.
That's a fair point.
Because that's what's making money.
Yeah, that's a good
is
point.
Entertainment.
Yeah, and I remember a couple of years ago, at least on the podcast, you and I talked about how it would maybe be not the worst idea to get some people in there who aren't so close to the college football world to maybe give the room a no man instead of yes man, yes man, yes man, yes man. And they're never going to do that.
No. It's, yeah.
It is what
it's
it
a
is.
club.
It is a club. It's an old boys club with the exception of a couple people of color and one singular woman.
But also, like, we all see on the outside what this should be.
Yes.
And I just have to, like, be devil's advocate a little bit and understand that it's like a $1 billion industry that is only growing. And so for me to say they've made the wrong choice is almost laughable because who am I?
It's the wrong choice for what we like in our bones want it to be, which is the like clear fairness of athletic achievement and competition.
Right.
But for what it is, for what it actually is in reality, you're right.
But would I tune in for like Washington versus FSU?
Or like to your point, would we talk about it? No. Yeah. So whatever.
They're feeding the subconscious, and we don't like that.
Yeah. And it's just the way it is. It's true.
And it's analytics. Analytics have taken over baseball. Guess what? They've taken over every other sport.
And dollars.
Yeah.
It's the world we live in.
Mm-hmm.
I also did a bonus winner and loser of the NFL weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Winner Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, come on.
He's a freak of nature.
Is he actually now the favorite for MVP?
Yes, he is.
That's
as of today.
Great. I think right after the game, he jumped like 2 or 3 spots, and then today has switched over
as of
to
Monday.
being a favorite.
And the losers of the NFL weekend, the Sunday Night Football officiating crew, that was a circus.
I think they got all of the, like, in the final 2 minutes, they got everything wrong. Across the board.
Just wrong call. Keep it going. Keep it going. And I know officials are human beings.
Yeah.
But like, this is the big stage.
Yeah.
How can you be that bad? But they find a way. They found a way. Those are my losers.
And was it entertaining?
No, it was frustrating as hell.
I was entertained.
I suppose it depends. If you're watching as a fan without a rooting interest, it's probably entertaining.
Yeah.
And you're probably sitting there going, oh my God, they missed another one. But if you have a rooting interest, you're like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. So fair point there.
Yeah.
All right, Cyhawk Week. It does not have the regular sense of vitriol that it normally does.
It?
Do you think it does?
No.
Why is that?
Because I think that the women
Are we all tired?
I think the games feel like they're already decided.
I think the women's game this pains me to say, is already decided. The men's game, I don't know though.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because, well, okay. Do you want to start with the women?
Yeah.
Because I have thoughts. Okay. Women, Iowa State women, going to be a heavy underdog.
Yeah.
It's a sellout. So you never know what can happen in Hilton Coliseum when there's a rowdy, angry Hilton crowd.
Yeah.
But I just don't have a lot of confidence. Yeah. So we came off a win. Iowa State comes off a win against UNCW, 85-58. Freshman Addie Brown had another great game. Second double-double of the season. We've got Addie Crooks. She had double figures. She's scored in double figures 6 of the 7 games. Like these are good freshmen.
I thought that Addie Crooks wouldn't be able to play against D1 athletes.
Okay, be careful because they have not played a team with a major pulse yet.
Okay.
And I'm worried for her in the Big 12.
Yes, but she's not playing 1A Iowa girls.
Yes, no. She has shown that she has made the transition.
Yes.
But I am concerned for when Big 12 play comes around. I think it's going to be a whole new ball game.
Yeah.
She can handle it, but it's going to be a learning curve.
Yeah.
Iowa, though, coming off a win against Bowling Green in which Jason Sudeikis and Sue Bird were in attendance because
why
not? And they're number 4 in the polls today.
Yeah.
I don't know. How do you feel about it? Not great.
Not great. this is going to sound crazy, but I don't know, besides Caitlin Clark, I don't know anything about the Iowa team because I've just covered my ears about it.
Yeah.
And so it just, I don't know. I'm just not that excited about it because I don't know.
Because
If
you know
we-
what's likely to happen.
If we win, I won't shut up about it. I will not shut up about it.
Yeah, no.
But
and
if we
shouldn't.
lose, I'll be so pissed that people won't shut up about it. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what this game is, right? Yeah. I feel the same. I feel like it's going to probably be a 20-point ball game.
Yeah.
I would be thrilled if it's not, of course.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I don't know how we keep up with that scoring. It's just, they're going to be a team that's unlike any we've seen so far.
Yeah.
And it's like I said, it's a sellout. So I want Iowa State to show up, play one of their best games of the season. I want these freshmen to get a taste of what it's like to play in front of that amazing Hilton crowd. And let this be, if it's a loss, let it be a learning opportunity for what they're about to face in the Big 12. Because in the end, it doesn't matter. I mean, it matters for the bragging rights, but when you get into the season, it doesn't matter.
I do feel like both the men's and women's teams, like the excitement that I've had for both of them have been a little bit of like fool's gold because I don't feel like either the men or the women have had a very difficult like
non-con
at all.
Especially the men. I mean,
it's been Little Sisters of the Poor.
Yeah, and that's why I don't know what to think about the men.
Yeah.
At first I was like, wow, this team can score. And suddenly I'm like, I don't know if this team can score.
There are things about this team that I can see are good, even though they're playing bad teams.
Yes.
In the past, we would score 60
against the bad teams.
Against a bad
You're right.
team. We would still beat them by 25, but now we're scoring 80 against these teams.
Yep.
The triple doubles
yes.
of it all.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good signs.
I can see it happening again. The fact also that he's like,
we're talking about Taman Lipsy.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay.
The fact that Taman like sees himself as a scoring threat now. During the non-con last year, he didn't see himself as a scoring threat.
You're right.
I don't see that being a negative once we enter conference games.
I totally agree with you.
So him being aggressive on the scoring front, great.
Absolutely.
Super. I mean, we've talked about Rob. I feel positive.
Yes. Not a liability.
General. Yes, not a liability. Your mom's on the beach.
Mm-hmm. Milan Momcilovic.
Maybe could be streaky. But I still trust him more than I was trusting Caleb Grill.
Agreed.
And we have a little annoying white point guard.
Pavletsky. Okay. Like I saw him play for when he got on the floor the first time. And I was like, oh, he's from High School Musical. And I cannot get it out of my brain.
His hair.
He's got Bieber hair.
His hair is, when we were in high school, all the rage.
Yes.
All the hot guys had that hair. And I'm like, has it come back?
I don't know. I don't want to say.
Will he shave his head at some point?
We're all in this together. I can't get it out of my head.
Yeah.
That's all I see now is this little high school, like Zac Efron as a 15-year-old who wasn't all buffed up and jawline. Like that is Pavletsky.
And when I first saw him, I was like, oh, another bench rider. And then I was like, not a bench rider. Not a bench rider.
He's our little spark of energy.
He is.
Yeah, little engine that could.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know what to expect. I have no idea. I was playing Purdue Monday night as we record.
Yeah.
They were getting their rears kicked.
Yeah, they lost.
Oh, they lost?
It's official.
Okay. So
It's a fish.
I
There's
don't know.
something else I was going to look up
87-68
about
field
Okay.
today.
So
Tonight,
the
that
men
might
play
be.
Thursday, 6:30 ESPNU. Women are at 6 p.m. on ESPN2 on Wednesday.
Yeah.
We'll see. Go Cyclones, boo Hawkeyes.
Yeah.
Hawkeyes stinky, as my kids used to say.
I love it.
Volleyball, unfortunately, were exited in the first round of the NCAA tournament by Hawaii. Won the first set and then just couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
Brooke Stonestreet did not play due to injury. I'm sure that had a significant impact, but that's a bummer. Anything else on the Cyclone front, Alisa?
I'm looking through my notes.
Okay.
Let me look
Your
at these
paragraphs
notes.
upon paragraphs.
Yep, I have
of
a lot
notes.
of paragraphs here.
While you do that,
notes.
I'm going to share a little bit about our friend Hope Wood.
Oh, yes, please do.
Is there a better gift to give than the gift of a will? Yeah, there probably is.
That's good.
Thank you.
I mean, it depends on what you're putting in the will.
Hope and I have been trying to get together for lunch in December, and it turns out December is absolutely bat beep crazy. So hopefully we see Hope. But she does the Will in the Day program. Check her out online at hopewoodjd.com. Use the code FANATIC for $50 off. You can get your will taken care of in just a couple of hours and give yourself peace of mind. hopewoodjd.com. Do you want to take a quick break and then talk about some other happenings?
Yes,
All right.
please.
Alisa, I have a cool story.
Yeah, tell me.
And this kind of bleeds into your world of the NBA.
Oh, I'm literally looking up NBA stats right now.
Mine is not a player statistic, but did you see the news that Mavs owner Mark Cuban is selling his majority stake?
That is my beige flag.
Tell me how it's your beige flag.
Because it feels like the end of an era, and I thought he was fantastic. However,
yeah, you're just kind of like, meh.
Yeah.
Okay, that's how I was. And then I looked a little bit more deeply into this.
Okay.
So he's selling his majority stake to Miriam Adelson and her family for a couple $1 billion, $3.5 billion.
Yes.
So I was curious about who this is because I was like, oh, a woman. This is great. So it turns out her family, her husband specifically, is a casino mogul.
Yes.
She now is one of the richest people in the world after her husband passed away. She's the 35th richest this year and the 5th richest woman according to Forbes, with an estimated net worth of $32.3 billion.
Yes.
So I thought to myself, I wonder how many of other women are in positions like hers in the NBA. Turns out she's the third woman to be the principal owner of an NBA team, along with LA Lakers Jeannie Buss and New Orleans Pelicans Gail Benson. And that gives her a lot of authority and a platform. And I'm not going to say anything else about this, except she and her husband were some of the largest donors to the 2016 Trump campaign.
Yeah.
And that's all I have to say.
One thing that I do find interesting about this story, and I would like to see more about this, because there's not a lot about this story that I would like to see more about. But the one thing that I am interested to see more about is that sports betting is not legal in Texas.
This is what's very confusing to me. There's something else going on here.
Yes.
Because he said, I want to invest in casinos in Texas and invest with the Adelsons. Oh, but sports betting. So are you going to try to lobby Mark? Or
that's what I think.
Or is he running for office?
That is a possibility that I can see.
Because I also saw that he's pulling out of the Shark Tank game. So I wonder if he's kind of opening a path for himself.
So I think that there's something that Mark Cuban is going to do is brewing. And that is also why it's my beige flag, because it's like, okay,
what's next?
Yeah.
I find him to be wildly interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what crazy shit
And
he
I
does
thought
next.
that he was a great owner. I thought he was a very active owner.
I also think he brought a lot of visibility to a sport that's already extremely visible.
Yeah.
In ways that were new and fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with you. You and I texted about this a little bit, but UConn women's basketball is having a heck of a bad run with knee injuries.
Yes.
AZ Fudd is out the rest of the season with an ACL and medial meniscal tear in her right knee. She tore this ACL already, which is unfortunate. It's her third injury in 3 seasons. And then, of course, Paige Beckers also tore her ligaments in her knee. So they are on the struggle bus when it
Yeah.
comes to strength and conditioning.
Yeah.
So we'll see. UConn is dropping in the rankings. I'm sure their fans are incredibly frustrated
Yeah.
at this point. I can't
Oh,
imagine.
I'm entirely sure.
Yeah. So that's just one of those programs that's been a mainstay. And like you said, Alisa, it makes you wonder a little bit, is there something they need to change with the way they're training their women's
Yeah.
basketball players? All right. You got more for me?
Yeah, sorry, I just had a little burp.
It wouldn't be a podcast
just a little
without a
guy.
little Alisa burp.
So speaking of the NBA,
So
and
speaking of burps,
and I just checked, and this story gets more exciting. So Halliburton was on the injured list for a game.
yeah, he was sick.
He was a maybe for tonight. He scored 44 in 40 minutes against the Heat, so I'm sure that they were thrilled that he didn't play the next game, but he did play. He is playing tonight. I don't know if the game's over yet or not.
It just tipped when I left to come here.
So currently he has 19 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists. So I think he's feeling okay.
He's over whatever little bug
Yep.
had him down.
Yep.
Just a little worn down.
So I think this is probably his 17th game so far. Averages 27 points, 3.6 rebounds, 11.8 assists, and 1.1 steal per game.
He is just all over the place on the socials, and it's
Yeah.
so fun to see.
Yeah.
I mean, he is gone. He's stratospheric at this point.
It's so great, and I'm glad to see that he was playing tonight. And then talking more about our guys, we like to just touch on what our dudes are
Just
doing,
touch.
just
We just
see
like
what
to
they're
see.
doing. Niang's averaging 22 minutes for the Cavs. He's got 8.3 points, 4 rebounds. He had 12 points against the Pistons on the second. Taylor Horton-Tucker, still point guard for the Jazz. He was starting for a while. He's not in that role anymore. Averaging like 9.3 points, almost 3 rebounds, 4.5 assists, 22 minutes, just kind of in like the second, third round. Great.
Yep.
Has a decent
role.
Monte Morris has been out for this whole season. And actually, so he had a quad strain that kind of became like a serious issue for him. He did just have his number retired at his high school, which I think is
that's
really
fun.
cute. Yeah. But he has had like platelet rich plasma injections as part of like stem cell treatments to try and help him with the healing process. But he was just evaluated and is still out. Probably won't be reevaluated till like January. So we're hoping the best for
Also,
him.
how frustrating is something like that? Like a quad strain.
Right.
It's not like you broke your leg
Right.
or tore your Achilles. It's just a strain that won't get better.
Not healing.
Nagging injury.
Yeah. And then Ashley Jones is playing overseas. According to Jared Larson on Twitter, she, on the 23rd, she had 23 points. 23rd.
On the
23
23rd?
points. Yeah, 4 3-pointers, 9 rebounds, 2 steals.
That's a good game for Ash.
And the game the game after that, she had 17 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. So she is playing a lot and playing very well
Good.
overseas.
It'll be interesting to see what happens with her
Yeah.
in the next WNBA season.
Definitely. But she looks like she's having fun.
Good. And then she can come back someday when she retires and be a teacher in Des Moines, and we will all love her.
How
In
cute.
Central Iowa,
Yeah.
we'll love her very much
Yeah.
for it. Can we talk a little bit about girl power in the NFL?
Let's do it.
So I mentioned Sunday Night Football. That was also the Taylor Swift versus Simone Biles game.
Yes.
That was fun to see. And Simone Biles was on the screen, and the girls were like, "We haven't seen her forever."
I
And then I
know.
was like, "Well, the Olympics are coming, and it sounds
Yeah.
like she's gonna." So they got all excited about that. But per the gist, Taylor Swift, before last night's broadcast, sparked a 53% boost in NFL Network viewership among girls aged 12 to 17.
Oh.
And I just think that's so fun
Yeah.
because we talked a lot about why are you gatekeeping?
Right.
If you're this why are you showing Taylor Swift? This is
Right.
why, because you're encouraging a new group of people to watch, and
Right.
whether they watch for your reason or their reason, who cares?
Right.
You might just get a lifelong fan out of
And
it.
the amount of eyes that you lose because of Taylor Swift are so minuscule.
Exactly.
Analytics.
Yes.
Going back to analytics.
Yeah.
Like, sorry that you don't like it, but you're going to continue to watch it. If you continue to watch through like wife beaters, dog fighters, like
People who really like
murderers,
massages.
right? Weirdos.
Like you can
ayahuasca.
handle a couple of shots
Yeah.
of Taylor Swift.
Yeah, you can handle it.
Aiden, did you see her last night? She looked great.
Yeah, I was a big fan. I saw people making fun of her, like,
Why?
well, because the whole reputation stuff was going around.
Oh.
So people were like, when Taylor wants to dress, or sorry, when she's trying to dress as a Chiefs fan, but she still wants to keep her reputation vibe. So
Right. I
had
thought
to
it
wear
was
the black
great.
and the red.
I
Yeah,
loved it.
I loved it too.
I don't know what that means.
It doesn't matter.
Okay,
Just trust us.
I knew that, and I saw on social media that she was there, but now that I'm thinking back to having watched the game, I don't feel like they showed her
They
that
didn't.
often.
It was significantly less of a thing than it has been. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. It is interesting. But per that same article in the Gist, 223 women are now working full time in coaching or ops positions in the NFL, and that's a 141% increase since 2020. So that's
Yeah.
really good to see. Hopefully that continues going up.
Well, that actually ties into my red flag,
Let's do it.
which I read a couple different studies. One of them, analyzed by Sports Pro, said that only 15% of sports media coverage is dedicated to women's sports. And more than half of 2023's top 25 most marketable athletes are women.
Oh, that's interesting.
So I was thinking, okay, media, you're going to get eaten up alive by social media.
Oh, wow. That's super interesting.
If you don't
Start spending your dollars on the people who
And
are
so
marketable.
It's not just us saying, oh, we wish the media would cover women a little more. It's this study showed that more than half of the top 25 most marketable athletes are women. So why are we not covering at least half
That's really
covering
wild.
women? And then I also read a report that said, this one was by Wasserman, said that media coverage of women's sports has tripled since 2019. And I feel like we mentioned that recently. So if sports media has tripled and it's still only 15%, you're not gonna
You're missing out.
yeah.
I mean, we say it a lot, but the time to invest is now because it's buy low, right?
Yeah.
And then sell high, and now's the time to buy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Media is free. You know what I mean? It's not free, but to put your stuff out there and to get people to read your content, that's your goal, or to listen or to watch your content. Isn't that your goal?
Yeah, that's really interesting.
Wouldn't you go for the most marketable people, most marketable athletes?
Well, that would be logical.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anyways, I'm down to my not my yellow flag, my
Yellow
beige
flag.
flag and my red flag.
I had my beige flag. That was
Yeah.
my red flag.
Yep.
Yeah. Dang, I have read a lot of paragraphs here.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
It's because of your bangs.
It is.
My beige flag is players who decide to forego a bowl game if you are a projected high draft pick. As a fan, does it stink? Yeah, of course it does. But do we understand it? Yes.
Yeah.
So that's my beige flag.
Yeah.
Just kind of one of those, that's just the reality of the world we live in.
Yeah.
I have several red flags.
Okay.
Last week I said my beige flag was guys who get all costumed up and make-upped up for NFL games. So
Yes, yeah,
my red
okay.
flag is guys who go shirtless at Lambeau or in snow games.
No, yeah.
What are you doing? Who are you trying to impress?
Yeah.
Put a shirt on.
You're going to catch a cold.
You're a lunatic.
You're definitely gonna catch a
next
cold.
red flag, anyone who's still doubting Brock Purdy.
True.
And lastly, missing both free throws when you shoot 2 free throws.
Y'all.
Coach Otzelberger, figure it out.
Guys, they're free.
I can't handle it.
Shoot them underhand.
I
if you
will
have
watch.
to.
I have watched a lot of bad basketball. Not bad, ugly basketball
Yeah.
with Coach Otzelberger. And I'm happy to do that. Coach, can't do missing free throws like we
Yeah.
are.
That's rough. I do have a red flag. Did you hear the story about the 32 women's sports athletes from the University of Oregon who filed a class action lawsuit against their school claiming the distribution of NIL resources between male and female athletes was unequal?
Oh, this is going to get interesting. Okay,
Yes.
so when you say NIL resources, it's not
Yes.
dollars because the dollars don't come from the school.
Right.
But so what does that mean? Does that mean like guidance as to how to invest or how to file their taxes or like, for example, you know what I mean? Agent type of opportunities. Is that what they're talking about?
I'm not sure.
That
It's
because that
something
could
that-
get
yeah.
because NIL, the dollars don't come from the school.
Right.
So that is why NIL is not subject to Title IX
Yes.
and the equal distribution.
And this is a Title IX. They're claiming a Title IX violation.
that's interesting.
Yes.
That could
So,
get
and I think
real
that
juicy.
just came out either yesterday or today. So
Okay,
it was
we'll have
brand
to-
new. Didn't have a ton of time to research
It's okay.
it.
There's
but
probably not much. Okay, how about for next episode we dig into that a
Yeah.
little bit?
I wanted to throw it out there.
I'm glad
for
you did.
to read about
I
it.
just got the wheels
For
turning.
our peoples to read about it.
Speaking of, okay,
Yes.
so in 2 weeks we're gonna do our coveted holiday episode.
Oh, what do we do on a holiday episode?
What are we doing?
Yeah. What I mean, it's usually just a
It's
normal.
usually pretty chill.
just like a normal app.
Yeah. So
Just typical, right, Aiden? Aiden has no idea. He's terrified.
Yeah, this normally doesn't bode well for me, does it?
No, it's
Oh.
fine.
No, it's
Nothing
it's
to worry about here.
Totally normal.
Yeah, there's nothing.
It's just a normal
just a regular
episode.
episode. No one asks us about it.
Nope.
Nope, it's fine. But I legitimately lost my voice for 2 solid weeks after last year's. Went to the doctor because I thought maybe something was. I permanently ruined my vocal cords.
I'm gonna go back and listen to that. Just
Have you ever heard of Robert Goulet?
no.
Goulet. Then go back.
So
Okay.
hold on.
Okay.
Should
Wait,
I go
no.
back and listen or
It's going
just
too
be
fast.
surprised by everything?
Go back. I'm not doing that again because I need my voice.
But
But go back and
we're not talking about anything right now.
what? No.
Yeah.
Just- okay.
But
Go back.
Yeah.
Watch last year's. It's not going to be the same because it's nothing to worry about.
listen to it. We're a audio podcast. You can just listen.
Or just listen. Just don't worry about it.
No, it's,
Anyways,
it's everything's normal and it's just a normal podcast.
Oh yeah,
Is
I
actually.
totally do then. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
all right. So holiday episode next time. You said, well, that story you just mentioned, we'll dig into that. Also, I want to ask our listeners to tell us about your favorite sports moment of 2023. And we can either do that during the holiday episode or the New Year's
Yeah.
episode, whatever.
Is
but
this
just
a
be
deep
thinking about it.
tease?
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Oh.
Look at us. We're
We don't
doing
normally
professional
do
things.
this.
I know. Can I mention one last thing?
Please
Small plug.
do.
So last episode, I mentioned how the We Will Collective is matching up to 600,000.
Yeah.
Now it's $1 million.
Wait, what?
I know. So we got 200,000.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So as of today, if we raise 500,000, it's going to get matched to $1 million, and that goes through January 10th. So
What are we up to?
that's a good question. We're not up to the three. We're close to the original 300,000. So whatever money Santa Claus brings you, consider donating it to the We Will Collective. Grandpas give you $50 straight
Yeah.
to the We Will Collective.
Love it.
So consider that because it matters. All right, that's all I got.
Great.
Now I got to go prepare for la 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 la.
But nothing.
But nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing to
Aiden.
worry about.
Just totally normal.
Let's go beat the Hawkeyes.
Yeah.
Go Cyclones.
Go State.